Before starting this interesting topic, please give a big thumb to our channel for subscription as creator of nature's most eldritch test are the rarest animals you had ever seen to meet rarely. A few researchers there are, give or take, 8-7 million distinct species residing on Earth. 8-7 million. There are some completely special, completely particular animals. You are more than privy to a number of them, of course, but for every preferred problem, line or beer, there is a Shoebill, STORKS, or a Venezuelan bottlemouth, frilled shark. So scroll on and say hi there to some of the maximum uncommon beings to stay and breathe on the surface of this floating rock. Herein are the rarest animals on the planet, starting from the adorable to the extremely good to the downright horrifying. Shoebill STORKS. The shoebill becomes recognized to both ancient Egyptians and Arabs but becomes no longer labeled till the 19th century, after skins and sooner or later lived specimens had been introduced to Europe. John Gould defined it in 1850, giving it the call Balanceps rex. The genus calls comes from the Latin phrases ballina, whale, and caput head, abbreviated to keeps in compound phrases. Traditionally allowed away the strikes, Seconiforms it termed in to retain their within the Sibley Ahlicus taxonomy, which lumped a large number of unrelated taxa into their Seconiforms. More currently, the shoebill has been taken into consideration or to be towards the pelicans, primarily based on anatomical comparisons, or the herons, primarily based on biochemical proof. Microscopic analysis of eggshell structure by Konstantin Mikhailov in 1995 found that the eggshells of shoebills carefully resembled the ones of different pelicaniforms in having a protecting or thick microglobal cloth over the crystalline shells. The latest DNA study reinforces their membership of the pelicaniforms. The plumage of person birds is blue-gray with darker slaty gray flight feathers. The breast gives some elongated feathers which have dark shafts. The juvenile has a comparable plumage color, however is a darker gray with a brown tinge. When they are first born, shoebills have a more modestly sized bill, that is to start with silvery gray. The bill will become greater, notably large, while the chicks are 23 days vintage and become properly evolved by means of 43 days. Venezuelan bottle moth. A fuzzy animal that same parts lovable and terrifying has taken the internet through Typhon. It's known as the Venezuelan bottle moth, and for the affection of all this is holy, we are hoping that it's actual. This hope will bring us in the primary days of 2009, while zoologist Arthur Anker uploaded pics of the bottle moth within the Grand Sabana Palace of Venezuela Canamia National Park. The moth, can we name him, seems on the slideshow alongside what appears to be a bevy of crazy insects. Poodle moth, article SP, Venezuela becomes the simplest caption delivered at the side of the records about what digicam he used. Scientists traversing the park in Venezuela where it turned into scene have been unable to find it once more, writes the Atlanta Journal-Constitution's George Mathis. Seeing that weirdness of this little dude kind of makes the bottle moth a touch much less bizarre and more plausible. Shuku provides that the bottle moth virtually seems like it can be related to these things referred to as muslin moths. Frilled shark. The frilled shark Chlamydis lacus anguinus and the southern African frilled shark Chlamydis lacus africana are the two extant species of shark inside the family Chlamydicelidae. The frilled shark is considered a residing fossil due to its primitive, anguilliniform, eel-like physical traits, including a dark brown color amphiticini, the articulation of the jaws to the skull, and a 2.0 m 6.6 toes lengthy frame, which is dorsal, pelvic, and anal fins placed towards the tail. The common call frilled shark derives from the fringed appearance of the 6 pairs of gill slits on the shark's throat. The species of frilled shark are distributed in the coastal regions of the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, generally within the waters of the outer continental shelf and of the higher continental slope, where the shivers usually stay near the sea ground, near biologically effective areas of the environment, to live on a food plant of cephalodes, smaller sharks and bony fish, the frilled shark practices dull vertical migration to feed at night on the surface of the sea. When looking meals, the frilled shark actions like an eel, bending and lunging to seize and swallow entire prey with its long and bendy jaws, which can be ready with 300 recurved needle-like teeth. The Seneca white deer. The Seneca white deer are a rare herd of deer living within the confines of the previous Seneca Army Depot in Seneca County, New York, when the 10,600-acre, 43-kilometer depot became created in 1941. A 24-mile, 39-kilometer fence changed into erected around its perimeter, setting apart a small herd of white-tailed deer, some of which had white coats. The deer are not albino, however, as a substitute deliver a set of recessive genes for all white coats. The isolation of the herd causes excessive range of inbreeding. In the 1950s, the depot commander forbade GIs from shooting any white deer. The deer population has given growth to about 700 head. About 300 of that are white, making it the most important herd of white deer within the international. Since the depot closure, the future of the deer has been unsure. The visibility of white deer makes them clean prey for hunters and natural enemies like coyotes, and this kind of herd might no longer live on inside the wild. In 2006, a business plan changed into submitted to the Seneca County Industrial Development Agency, owners of the depot assets, to convert the land into conservation park and Cold War museum, but the plan was denied. Wolffish. The Atlantic wolffish, Inarchicus lupus, also called the sea wolf, Atlantic catfish, ocean catfish, satinfish, wolf eel, the not unusual name for its Pacific relative, wolf or sea cat, is the marine fish of the wolffish own family, Inarchitidae, local to the North Atlantic Ocean. The numbers of the Atlantic wolffish in the US waters are unexpectedly being depleted, maximum likely due to overfishing and bycatch, and it's far presently as a species of concern in keeping with the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's National Marine Fisheries Service. Apart from their prissy look, wolffish are prominent by way of the natural antifreeze they produce to maintain their blood shifting fluidly in their very bloodless habitat, involvement by both the male and women in brood bearing, and the big size of the eggs. They are also a critical component in controlling inexperienced crab and sea urchin populations, which can become overly disruptive to habitats if left unchecked. Wolffish population achievement is also a critical indicator to the fitness of different backside dweller populations, such as the Atlantic code. To discover amazing secrets about rarest species, like and share it with your fellow beings and stay tuned for similar upcoming videos.